Hello everybody. This is a short video where I would show you how to download your NetBeans, and NetBeans is nothing but an IDE, integrated development environment, that you would be needing for your Java programming class. We would be using either Eclipse or NetBeans, and I strongly encourage you to play with both just to see the two different flavors of IDE that we can use for the program. So I would go to netbeans.org and I would click on download, and this is the 12.0 version. I had downloaded the 11.3, but I'll still go ahead and do the download for the most recent version, and that's why I'm going to choose this NetBeans 12.0 Windows 64. Of course, depending upon the Linux or the Macs that if you're using, depending upon the computer that you're using, you would be downloading your NetBeans. So I'm choosing my Windows 64 EXE, and that should let me download. And this is just my security setting, and I'm just going to click on the keep. And you may not be required to do this step, but just wanted to show you that mine does require, and it's going to take a little bit to download the exe file. So I'll pause it at this point, and then I'll come back once it starts installing or unpacking the executable file. Now that my executable file is fully downloaded, I'm just going to install the package, the NetBeans. So once I double click on it, it should start the process. So right now, the executable file is being configured. So the installer is going through this process. And basically, I would just use the basic default settings of everything. And once the NetBeans installs, we will just open it up, create our class, and type in a new program to see if everything is working or not. So these are some of the steps that we are going through. It's configuring the installer. As I said, these are basic steps that we are going through. And as I said, I'm just going to go ahead and keep the basic settings. And right now it's asking me if I want to install it within my program files, and I'm just going to go ahead and say yes and check for updates and allow it to install. So it seems like everything installed okay, and there were some updates, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on finish. So we should be good now. And let's go ahead and open up our NetBeans. So this is the most recent version of NetBeans that we opened, and I can go ahead and go through some of the tours, try a simple sample project, or you can go ahead and just close the start page and start with creating a new project. And I'm going to start with a new project, and I'm going to choose either the Java with Maven or the Gradle, and you can do either one. So I'm going to start with the Java with Maven. This is the Java application, and I'm going to click on next. So it does have the FX implementation, and I'm going to go ahead and activate because we might need the Java FX later on. And let's see if it would go ahead and add those. There were some updates, as you saw earlier, from the other version, which was the 10 version that I had. So let's see how this one would work. I always recommend students to download the most recent version of it. And again, since you guys are all into programming, you will come across issues and little glitches here and there, but hopefully we will be able to troubleshoot everything and get our environment all set up and working for us. just to show you that this was my older version of the 10.0, the Apache NetBeans 10.0. So this one is the 12.0 version, as you can see at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and close my 10.0. And right now this is a project name, and you take a look to see where it's storing. As you can see, it is in the Paul A documents, but if you would like to, you can change it and you can put it anywhere. And this is right now called the Maven project, but I can change it to test NetBeans project, and go ahead and click on finish. And as I said, if you want to change your location, you can do so, absolutely, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It's important that you know where you're storing, because for your class you would have to go in and extract the .java file and upload it in the Dropbox or the assignment folders that we would have for our classes. As you can see, it's trying to build a dictionary here, and this is my test NetBeans project, as you can see over here. And if I right click on it, I should be able to create a new Java class. And again, in the class I'm going to say test NetBeans, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish. So right now it is showing me my class of NetBeans, and let's go ahead and add my first main method. So what I did over here is I just typed in the very basic code. So it started off with my class called test NetBeans. This is my main method, and I wrote a little simple print line method, and I went ahead and saved my file. So I just click on save, and then I'm going to run my file, and I can click on the icon over here, or I can go over here and click on run. So you can either debug or run, and I'm just going to go ahead and click the run project. It's going to ask me if I have my NetBeans, and I'm going to select my main class and run it. And if everything goes fine, then I should be seeing this line that I just wrote over here. And seems like it's trying to do a few things, and it built my success, and this is what I did over here. So this is my first test NetBeans project. Now before I get out of this, I'm going to go ahead and close this, and I'm going to go ahead and run another NetBeans project, but this time I'm going to choose the other one, the other Java with Ant, just to show you the difference between the two. So I just opened my NetBeans and waiting for my IDE to open. So once it opened, I'm going to go ahead and create a new project, and this time I'm going to use the Java with Ant, and you can do the Gradle. We can try multiple things, so just to see how things are different. So this is the Java with Gradle that I chose, and I will create a Java application. So, and I'm going to try the test NetBeans second project, and there is a main class. It already described, or it created for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on finish, and it requires a 6.03, and I'm just going to go ahead and say okay, and let's see if it installs the package for me. So as you can see, after I let the packages install, it came back with the main class, and in this one they called it main. So I did not get a chance to, well, I could have changed the name, but it was initially given as the main class, so that's how it's called, and I have to keep it that way. And of course I can always come in and add my print line which is to print a test, and this is my test with Java NetBeans. And of course you can see some of these red errors that is telling me that there should be a semicolon expected at the end of the line. These are smart IDEs, so once I do that I should be able to run my class, and my output is given over here. So this is my the second part of the screen, or the section of the screen which is giving me my output, the console output, and this is my test with NetBeans. So let's now try the last option of NetBeans. So I'm going to again go back and create a new project, and this time I'm going to try the Java with AND. So I tried it with the Maven. That was my NetBeans first project. This was my second project, and this was my AND. Same thing, Java application, and I'm going to go ahead and click next. And in this one, it gives me this option of creating main class. This is my project name, and I can call it again NetBeans Test Project 3. Remember, project is my folder, and here is my main class, and it's going to write the public static void main class for me. Again, make a note of the as the file structure as to where they are being stored, and I'm going to click finish, and it's going to create my new project, and it's going to come back with the IDE screen like this. So again, as you can see over here, this is my NetBeans project. This is the name of my class, and this actually came from the package, the project that I described. So as you can see, 3 different versions allows or does things a little differently. So first one allows me to name my main class. The other one gives me a default of main class, but I can always change it. And the third one, it actually takes the name from the project and then writes the main class from here. And I can come back and do the same thing here, system.out.println, and say this is my third test project. And of course I would put a semicolon here, and I can run it, run my class, and I should get my output if it compiles, and should simple program. So this is my third test project page. So this is how I am going to use my NetBeans to write my Java program. Thank you.